See, more institutions need to be like Harvard and stand on business, okay? Because government tried to take $2.2 billion from them, and they said, no, hold on. We have been here before America was a thing. We were here since the colonies. You're not going to do that. We know our rights. You know why we know our rights? Because we were here before the Constitution was written. You're not going to try that with us. Meanwhile, other places like Target over here, bending the knee willy-nilly, getting down on all fours like they want to Shannon Sharp's girls, being like, oh, put a collar around me and walk me like a dog. The second DEI is told they gotta get rid of it. See, and look at Target. They out here losing billions of dollars. You're not gonna get it back. Harvard, on the other hand, they might get it back. I don't know how the courts are nowadays. They just be taking anything from people. And also the courts apparently have no power. So who would have known? But like, we need to take inspiration from Harvard, because Harvard said we bend the knee to no one. And we know kings, and you looking pretty unfamiliar right now. You don't match.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So credit goes to the creators in this video. So guys, in today's video, it's Trump versus Harvard, right? Trump wants to cut $2 billion US. I mean a whole $2 billion US in federal grants, research funding to what Harvard receives, and Harvard is not ready to play the victim. They are suing, or they are attempting to sue. Guys, the English is not Englishing. They are attempting to sue the Trump administration. Okay, this is really interesting. Let's get into these videos and see what these people have to say.
So, in boxing, or any kind of combat sport, there's this thing called weight class. It's there for a reason, to keep things fair. Because if you didn't have it, you would see 380-pound men taking on, I don't know, 120-pound men. In that case, you know who's going to win. Is there a chance that we could have a David versus Goliath situation? Yeah, but let's be real. That 80-pound man is going to get destroyed. That's why we have weight class. Harvard University, aka Harvard Law, versus DJT and his crime regime is the equivalent of a super heavyweight versus not even a lightweight, not even a welterweight, a bantamweight. This is not a match that's fair. We all know how this will go, and it doesn't favor DJT at all. So I don't know what he thought was about to happen when he sent that letter to Harvard and said, that was your mistake. You knew I didn't mean to do that. You knew that was a mistake. Calm down. Harvard said, no, bitch. It was your mistake. Because now you entered the lion's den, and we're the lion. You decided to poke the bear, and now we're awake and we're angry, and we're coming for you. So this is going to be the equivalent of a Mike Tyson fight in the late 1980s. It'll be over in round 1. Stay hopeful. Trust your gut, and always know, you're not crazy.
Harvard University is suing Donald Trump and the White House. That's Harvard University. That's known as getting the shit sued out of you. If there's one institution on this planet that you do not want suing you, it's going to be Harvard University. Harvard is suing Trump because Trump doesn't like how Harvard runs things, wants them to get rid of their DEI programs, wants to control their professors and what they teach, wants lists of who's coming into the country to study at Harvard, which has been a grand tradition for hundreds of years. And basically everything that Trump is doing to punish Harvard, which includes cutting billions in funding if they don't comply with him, is illegal. It's all based on First Amendment rights. Whether it's protests or whatever, and First Amendment rights that Harvard has. And they're suing Trump because they're saying that they are being singled out, so that's discriminatory, and they're being punished over their First Amendment rights. Trump is going to lose, but what'll happen is he'll settle with them before it goes full-blown court, because he's not going to want to be embarrassed by this lawsuit. And I just get the popcorn ready, because watch how quickly he blinks on this one. They already said the letter that they sent to to Harvard University last week was a mistake. Yeah, a signed letter fully stating what they're going to do. And then Trump was so angry that everybody saw that he blinked and backed away that he's going after them again. And Harvard's like, yeah, we're not going to let you do that. Boom, full-on lawsuit.
Harvard said, "What? Not today, Satan." Bam. You know, I'm not a rocket scientist, but if I had a choice of who I would want to sue me, Harvard Law would be at the very bottom of that list, okay? Reporting live from the United States of Embarrassment, I have your breaking good news. Now, Harvard, the one that I didn't get into, they filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for the billion-dollar tax cuts that happened due to DEI and inclusivity, and that the fact it's only been 12 weeks, y'all. It's only been 12 weeks, and at what point will the other side say, you know what? We fucked up. Like I want everyone that's voted for him, that voted for the Dollar Tree dictator, I want you to make a post and tag me in it. I need you to understand that Harvard has law experts in every single category that you could possibly think of. And if they file this lawsuit, they know that they can win. Like, they know it. So get your popcorn. I need some Harvard gear, like a sweatshirt. I need a crew neck, though. I don't want a hoodie. It's not hoodie season. But a crew neck, yeah, immediately.
Girl, anyways, so Harvard gets a lot of its money from, research grants, students' financial aid, public projects, all that are funded by the federal money, right? So if you want to cut this 2 billion, you see, I need to call the money with respect, okay? I need to put the respect on that amount because it's a lot. 2 billion US dollars, okay? This will affect their medical research. It will affect science and tech development. It will affect the scholarships for middle and lower income students. I mean, Harvard's fees is a lot, but okay, if you're coming from, middle and lower class, okay, scholarships for them, yeah, the intelligent ones, but those that are not able to pay, it will affect the scholarships that go to them. It will affect the universities, hospital, public health programs. It's gonna affect a lot of things, and Trump supporters are loving this move, okay? But critics, as usual, say it's an abuse of power that will politicize. It's a politicized education and even make it worse. Okay, what do you think about this in the comment section? Because if Trump follows through with this, right, and let's just say, which does not look as if will be the case, let's just say they sue him and they go to court and he wins, right? Cutting this funding will cause a major shift in how these top American universities operate, right? Because it will discourage innovation, discourage research, slow down progress in health, science, tech, so many things that go on in the background that we don't even know about, and it will be coming to limelight if this happens. But if the reverse is the case and the win, that will just show something that no matter who you are, you think you're the government, whatever it is, we can always come and counter you and we will win. Guys, what do you think about this? In the comment section, I really want to know.
Let's break this down because not enough people are talking about what's really happening between Harvard and Trump. Trump's administration essentially blackmailed Harvard into changing its entire structure. This is through banning DEI programs, spying on international students for their beliefs, forcing merit-only based admissions, and making professors and students publicly prove their viewpoints are diverse enough. And when Harvard said no, Trump froze over $2 billion in federal funding without any due process. The government literally gave Harvard a 5-page ultimatum basically saying, bow to our demands, or we starve your research and funding. Which, fun fact, is wildly illegal under the Administrative Procedure Act. Another fun fact, Harvard learned that their funding was frozen at the same time the public did, buried in the last sentence of a government press release. No warning, no negotiation, just pure political retaliation. But the best part is, Trump called Harvard a threat to democracy while simultaneously trying to dictate the classes they can teach, who they can hire, and what political views the students can have. That's not democracy, that's authoritarianism with a PR team. And let's not pretend this is about protecting the students. A huge part of this started because students dared to stand up for Palestine. Supporting Palestinian rights isn't hate, but trying to erase them absolutely is. They're weaponizing accusations to silence any voices they find inconvenient, especially ones calling for justice and liberation. If you think it stops at Harvard, it doesn't. Trump has already gone after Columbia, Johns Hopkins, and 40 other universities. It's not about protecting students, it's about crushing dissent and scaring institutions into obedience. This is McCarthyism 2.0, and it's happening fast. And see, that's why the Unfuck America tour is happening. We're pulling up to college campuses to say, you will not intimidate us, you will not silence us, and you damn sure won't erase the movements for justice, whether it be for Palestine, academic freedom, or justice overall. Harvard's fighting in court, we're fighting in the streets, on the ground, face to face. Stay loud, stay critical, stay dangerous to those who fear real democracy, and if you're with us, support the tour by going to the link in my bio. Let's fucking go. They're scared because they know once people stand up together, they can't stop.
Suing Donald Trump's administration for withholding those funds that Donald Trump has been tweeting about. And Harvard is saying what Donald Trump is doing is extreme and is not within their authority to regulate so heavily what Harvard is doing and withhold this funding. Now, we've seen Columbia fold after Donald Trump made similar threats over the demonstrations and like the protests that were happening on Columbia's campus. And Donald Trump wants to have way more input on Harvard's campus. And the thing is that Harvard has so many lawyers that have went there, some of the greatest lawyers that have went to Harvard. I would bet that pro bono, most of these lawyers would defend against Donald Trump. If they didn't like him politically, they'd have this giant dream team of lawyers. If you thought that the team that OJ had was impressive, that dream team, or even like Diddy coming up, Diddy's about to have an amazing set of lawyers. If you thought that was impressive, imagine how many people would jump to Harvard's aid just to stick it to Trump. And I think that might be exactly what happens. And this lawsuit might be actually crazy out of budget for the DOJ to file. And this actually might be way out of budget and too hard for the DOJ to compete with unless they have millions and millions of dollars to throw at it. I think that Donald Trump has a valid claim and should have more input on what is taught at Harvard. Do you think that the state and the country should have that kind of say when it comes to private universities, especially something as prestigious as Harvard? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section and follow me for more content like this.
My fellow viewers, what do you think about this in the comment section? Do you think it's right for Trump to cut Harvard's money? Or do you think this is just a political stunt that will backfire badly? Or do you think this is part of the plan to just scrap out education completely? Because at this point, I really don't get it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you have found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you can know when I post a new video. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.